What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. And I'm here with my beautiful, sexy wife. Say hi, boo.
Hi, everyone. I'm AKDI, and this is... I don't know. I just got confused. Sorry. I'm AKDI. I'm from Turkey, and today we are reviewing Love Lies Bleeding.
Yes. She maybe got a bit confused because we're trying to do multiple things at once. We're trying to record this movie review. We're live streaming this movie review. We got the chat open, information on the movie open. It's too much.
Yeah, it's like too much stimulation.
Yeah. We're still figuring out the kinks. I'm a cringe millennial. She's super Gen Z, tech savvy, but we're both trying to make this work. You know what I mean? We're like two Mormon kids that never knew how to have sex because we never got sex ed, so we got married, and we're still figuring out how shit works.
Okay, that is an example. That is not true.
Okay.
Just for anyone who doesn't know us.
But I'm talking about how it works with technology. But anyway, we're here to review a film. AKDI, introduce the film.
Yeah, it's called Love Lies Bleeding. It's a 2024 movie done by A24. And it's basically, it's starring Kristen Stewart, Katy O'Brian, Dave Franco, and a bunch of other people. And it's set in 1989, and it's about a lesbian relationship between a reclusive gym manager who's a part of a crime family and an ambitious bodybuilder who gets wrapped up in organized crime. Yeah,
and this film was directed by a woman, and her name is Rose Glass. She was born the same year I am, and she has 2 Academy Awards nominations, so I need to just slap myself for being so unsuccessful, failing. Don't you hate when you see somebody is born the same year? You don't have that yet because you're 98.
I have it. It's Ayo Edebiri.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's 98.
That bitch is too successful.
Yeah, don't you hate
Somewhere like that, I think.
I remember, you remember when it was good times, when you were young and all the famous people were born 10 years before you?
Yeah.
The older you get and you see successful people your same age, you just want to get back in bed and go to sleep.
Okay, I mean, she was born in 1995, so I have 3 years to catch up, but I don't know if I can.
Anyway, Rose Glass, she's from England. This is her second film. She had a psychological horror film called Saint Maud that she directed that got her 2 Academy Awards nominations, at least in Britain, right? And this film has generally good reviews. Most people seem to like it. It's sort of like neo-noir, magical realism, surrealism, a bit of action in there, and a lot of lesbian sex. So it appeals to a certain demographic. AKDI, how did you feel after we watched it about 2 days ago?
Yeah, so I saw this movie when it first came out on Letterboxd, and I really wanted to like this movie because I read the reviews and it was oh, it's great, it's revolutionary, it's perfect, and I was kind of had high expectations, and I don't know if it was because of that, but I think this might be the worst A24 movie I've seen.
No, it's not as bad as Men. Men was pretty weird and bad and stuff like that.
At least Men was kind of creepy and scary. This wasn't even that. Yeah,
it wasn't aiming to be scary. It was aiming to, this is a feminist film at its core, right? And there's been an interesting thing that's been happening with feminist films over the past few years. Of course, women behind the camera are telling the story. And I think it really began with that film that we watched from Catherine Pugh, Daniel Pugh. I forgot that girl's name. What is her name? The white woman that's in everything.
Yes. You made me forgot because you just said too many ridiculous
I butchered her name, but it was that film.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling, right? Which is sort of this sci-fi surrealist horror film about a woman who lives in a Stepford 1950s America, and she has to deal with the domineering man over her. And then after that came Barbie, and then after that came another film that I think it's following in that same trajectory and style, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we watched it, but I don't know exactly who.
Is it the case, the lawyer movie where
Anatomy of a Fall?
Yeah.
That was a bit more realistic, and I kind of like that film.
Yeah.
But basically what I'm trying to say is it feels like in feminist films right now, they're becoming more outlandish, gaudy, surrealistic, fantastical, to try to tell these, lessons and what they're trying to get across about feminism. And for some reason, it just isn't hitting for me.
I mean, I actually like, supernatural, gaudy movies that are trying to explain like very human themes. Mm-hmm. I like that. But yeah, just this one didn't hit, and I've been contemplating like ever since we saw the movie, is it because I'm not a lesbian? Mm-hmm. Like I can't see the attraction to Kristen Stewart. Yeah. Like I just don't feel her at all, and I never like felt her in any other movies. I was never like that Twilight fan. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just like I just don't get it.
The other movie I was thinking about was The Substance. Oh, yeah. And how The Substance is a bit, whimsical, fantastical as well. Mm-hmm. As far as like the Kristen Stewart thing, in this film, I think she actually does decent acting, though she is like overrated and she is getting too many leading roles, right? Like there's a scene in here where she walks in and finds her sister like beat up by her husband, and she says, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And I'm like, that was really bad. Like, this is the best take. That's the best. Director said cut, and that's what y'all left with. So, yeah.
It's just like, I feel like she lacks emotion in her face. Mm-hmm. Like, there is no depth in her acting. Yeah. And I don't want to bash her. I'm sure she works really hard. Yeah. And this is not to, like, hate on her. But, I would rather watch Twilight than this.
Yeah, I think what it is, and I'm just going to get this out the way because I kind of want this review to be more about the positive things in this film, but I'll just go back to what I was talking about with like how these new neo-feminist contemporary films are missing their mark. I think it's, it's still centering whiteness. It's focused on like white womanhood, and I find womanism, feminism, understood through intersections to be way more fascinating, compelling, and truthful to the experiences of women. And what I noticed in The Substance, in Barbie, in Love Lies Bleeding, in Don't Worry, Darling, it's a centering of white womanhood issues, very superficial, surface level womanhood issues, and not getting into the complexities and nuances of what it means to be a woman of different backgrounds and types, right? Like in the Barbie movie, I think there was a black Barbie, but they didn't bring up what did the black Barbie mean. You know what I mean? Because the black Barbie was created specifically to decenter the white Barbie that was considered the standard, right? And to give black children like another role model of beauty to look up to, right? Don't Worry, Darling, it's all about these white women back in like 1950s America. But what does it mean if 1950s America, black women couldn't live in those neighborhoods, or other women who weren't white couldn't live there? You know what I mean? And as far as like this film, what I find, interesting is that the two main characters, Kristen Stewart's character, I forgot her name. Lou is a, white woman, and she's ostracized for her lesbianness. And the other main character, what was her name?
Jackie.
Jack. And she's played by Katy O'Brian. Shout out to her. She is obviously what looks to be like a woman of color, right? Yeah. And, if this film takes place in 1989 in rural New Mexico, why wouldn't her race have something to do with how she interacts with people in this small rural part of America? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I find generally problematic with these feminist films that are sort of everywhere. But any comments?
Yeah, I think this movie had a potential to go there, but it just didn't. And that is true, like, about what you said during, like, this late era of feminist movies, that they are more centered on, like, white feminism. And, and it's always, like, so much more interesting to look at it from a wider perspective where different women are included, different races of women and different types of women. And like you said, Katy O'Brian, like she looked racially ambiguous, but not white. So definitely could have taken advantage of that, but it's stuck with the fairy tale-ish, like supernatural way, and just the fight of like being accepted as a lesbian. Yeah. And I mean, that is because there's another way of looking at this film as just like a queer film that's relating to like
fighting back as queer people, giving agency, autonomy, strength, power back to them, right? But, they're still women at the end of the day, and like their womanhood plays a part in telling the story here, right? Because like I mentioned, Lou's sister gets abused. That's a major plot point in the film. So womanhood is still centered in this film. And like the other films I was talking about, Don't Worry, Darling, The Substance, whatever, right? Like those stories can be told, but just add little lines here or parts here that let us know that the story is a bit more complicated than just like, oh, I used to be the hottest model back in the day, but now I'm old, and now, everything's so bad. Isn't it so bad?
Ageism.
Yeah, like put some more nuance onto that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because these are themes that we've seen for a long time. Yeah, maybe these movies are just being made, but these are the things we read about and heard about and lived through as women. Mm-hmm. So just saying like, sexism is bad. Mm-hmm. Oh, lesbians are like being bullied by their parents and stuff like that. It's like not enough. Yeah. And it's more interesting to dive into the psyche of those people and the struggles. And
just to put a punctuation point on this for me, feminism is a positive thing. It is a good thing, right? But the problem with white feminism is like sexism is bad when it happens to me and people that look like me. And that's the problem with white feminism, is that it sort of ends when their oppression is sort of over, or at least they're close in proximity to power where they don't feel as much negative effects, right? The women who are marching, women need the right to vote, but you don't care about, the black women who are working day in and day out, and you're not campaigning for their right to vote or to be involved in the struggle for suffrage. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So true. And not to blame like any particular group, but we've seen, I'm sure like you also read or seen instances of like, the LGBTQ community, just like white gays stick up for white gays, and then they don't include like the other races and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, there's a thing like, so many black women have been murdered by the police in the last 10 years, right? Yeah. That's not considered a woman's issue. Yeah. White women don't go out into the streets and protest. Like, why are y'all killing women? That's considered a black issue, right? And the same thing, like queer people, trans people get murdered a lot in America. You know what I mean? One of the number one demographics. That's not good. And a lot of the trans people that are murdered are trans people of color. Yeah. A lot of the LGBTQ community doesn't consider that an issue if it happens to trans people who happen to be black. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Or non-white. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's what's that's what we just have to think about, And that's just my main concern. But after getting that out of the way, the major theme and issues of this film, I kind of liked it. I like this film in the sense that it's, the acting generally is good. The action scenes are fun. It gets a bit gory and gritty. I like the colors and stuff like that. And it's a bit outlandish and silly, but I was entertained generally.
Okay. I mean,
I think you really hate this film, though. So go ahead, let it rip.
I don't want to like. I know we're not popular. Yeah. But it's like I don't want to be, dragged on the streets for saying this because I don't know. I didn't like the acting. Kristen Stewart's acting really bothered me. Really. And but like Katy O'Brian was good, and other people were good. Maybe it's just I'm prejudiced because I don't like her. Like I don't like her acting. Okay. Not like her. I'm not talking about her personality. Yeah. And then I thought, honestly, when I was watching, I was like, oh no, like, oh, this again. I was rolling my eyes so far back into my head. My eyes hurt at the end of the movie. And everything that was happening, it was somewhat predictable. Okay. And I was never like that, shocked. And there were like those supernatural moments that were done. I felt like so bad. You felt like the ending is a bit cringe when this really becomes supernatural. Ending is very cringe because it's like Jack and the Beanstalk. What is happening at the end? Okay. And it's like I thought it was. I don't know. I didn't think the characters were explored enough. In terms of like Lou and Jack and even Daisy and I just needed like more deeper psychological interaction with the characters.
I got
and
you.
I didn't get that, and it felt surface.
I got you.
I basically hate everything about it.
You hate everything about
Other
it.
than the fact that it's like a feminist lesbian movie.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you're not you're a feminist, but you're not a lesbian. But you understand why people like it, though,
Yeah.
right? Why
Yeah.
they...
I understand.
Because they love this sex scenes. They think it's hot. It's cool. It's like empowering.
Yeah, it's like what 50 Shades of Grey is for, like straight white suburban moms.
Oh.
And I don't know, like, and don't get me wrong, like I love gay movies. Like I really love to see that sort of love. Brokeback Mountain. I'm trying to make
Call Me by
watch
Your
it.
Name.
Call Me by Your Name. Like I love those movies, but this one I didn't feel it. I don't know. Sorry. I really wanted to like it though.
I got you. I think there's some redeeming qualities here. I could understand how Rose got her Academy Award if she makes films this stylish and this cool. They just need better stories, I would say, and more intricate layers of themes, right?
Yeah.
But this is why we need, black film directors and basically other people of different backgrounds making feminist films, like women of different stripes. Because like Rose is a white woman from England, so of course it's going to be told in a certain way. But if you turn your brain off and watch this film and look at it as like just a popcorn flick with like some magical surrealism in it, it's kind of entertaining for me. But I guess. All right. And by the way, it's not because any of the scenes were hot. Like I don't put Kristen Stewart in any sort of like, I don't find her that attractive.
Top sexy list.
Yeah. And Katy O'Brian, I mean, she's cool, I guess. She's alright. She has nice eyes, I guess, but she's not super hot.
Aww.
What?
That was cute.
How's that cute? Do you like that when I trash women? When I say, oh yeah, that bitch ain't hot.
No, I said that's cute to the way you said her eyes are pretty. You noticed that, like, that's cute.
Oh, okay. I'm over here saying they ain't hot. Okay. Anyway, man, let's talk about this film. Story is it's kind of simple, but it gets a bit complex.
Wait, also a tiny context. Yesterday we reviewed Gentle, and we watched this movie after reviewing Gentle. And Gentle, for those of you who didn't watch the previous review, is a Hungarian movie about a bodybuilding woman and her struggles. So that's just like a little bit of context, because I think we notice a difference between European cinema and American cinema.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, part of the reason that I think maybe you don't like this film is that American cinema doesn't care about subtlety. They don't care about like candidness. You know what I mean? It's just like, boom, in your face. Yeah. Little weightlifting. Yeah, hot girls, good.
Yeah.
And like Gentle is like, I licked the ketchup off the plate. Oh, we should do ASMR. I could do.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, there's a big difference in style from European films and American films when it comes to feminist stories too.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so the film opens up where you see Lou like walking into this like gym that she works at, and all the people are working out there shirtless. Which I don't think any gym in the world, I don't care how underground it is, like people don't do that. Like dudes with their bare backs are laying down, like bench pressing and like just sweat everywhere. Just fucking gross.
Hair and sweat.
And then all the signs on the wall say like pain is weakness, leaving the body. Don't be a pussy bitch. You know what I mean? Like different shit like that. Right. And so yeah, Lou works there and she sort of hates her job because she has to like reach into a toilet with her bare hands and unclog it and shit like that. So it's kind of gross. And she closes up and then goes home to her cat in her small apartment. And like she listens to like audio tapes of a guy trying to convince her not to smoke anymore. And then she like masturbates on the couch, falls asleep, and the day repeats when she wakes up. Right? Until one day she's in the gym and she sees this girl who's there and she's like working out and she's super hot. But she's also homeless, too. Like, the bitch woke up under a fucking overpass, did, like, 20 bicep pull-ups and stuff like that, then went to work out at the gym, right? And so Lou gets to meet this girl, and her name is, what is it,
Jackie, or Jack. They call her both.
Yeah, Jackie. Jackie's getting hit on by, like, some big muscle dudes, but Lou closes down the gym, and, Lou walks outside, and Jackie's still getting hit on, and Lou is making, like, small talk with Jackie. Jackie says, like, I want to hang out with Lou. I don't want to hang out with you, big muscle dude. And, you know, she punches the muscle dude in the face and he, like, slaps her back. But Lou, like, breaks it up. Lou and Jackie go inside and they really start to get to know each other. And, you know, they find out. Lou, you know, says she's a lesbian, or Jackie finds out she's a lesbian, and they start, you know, bonding and they start making out right there. What did you think about basically the setup of the film and everything?
Yeah, it's like very, like you said, very American start with like the high energy, you know, beat and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I first thought, you know, Lou is sort of like very poor and she's sort of struggling and like cleaning toilets. That was very gross. Like she had to pull out poop and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then also it was, I don't know, like I guess it was just getting the vibe of the environment, the time. Yeah. And I could say like it's back in the day or something.
Yeah. If you remember, we watched Alien Romulus like a few months ago. I really liked how the style was like 70s, you know, retro, sporty chic. Were brought to the future. Yeah. I've never liked 80s aesthetic or anything, but I kind of like the aesthetic of like the clothes and the cars and the shoes in this film. If you noticed them, I kind of like.
I mean, it's cool. Like the what is it called?
Leotards and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yes, the costuming of the movie is good, costuming, not the leotards. Okay. But and it's like sort of, you know, gym girly and gym guys.
Leg warmers and stuff, like arm braces.
It's nice. And like with Jack's like style, you know, she has like this curly like little bob. Yeah. And with Kristen Stewart's character, Lou, she has like a mullet or something. Yeah.
She has like just like this messy like.
Yeah, she just like close her eyes and randomly cut her hair.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if that's like the lesbian look, like, because I'm sort of sick of that. I know that was supposed to be her character, like this girl who doesn't give a fuck and she's outside the norm, and plus she's ostracized for being a lesbian. But she looks like the girl from, what is it, Boys Don't Cry or something like that, or like Monster. I don't know if you've seen any of those films, but these are like films with a main lesbian character, and they always look just like no shower for a few days. They look like Kurt Cobain.
It didn't look very like stereotypical, you know.
Butch, white butch, white butch stud. Drewski would like this. Drewski would like that. I'm sorry. I'm ranting, but
I like the fact that even though Jack was a bodybuilder, which is mostly perceived as like masculine, she was feminine. Yeah, like, you know, she was wearing like.
Okay, come on now. How are the words escaping you to describe
it? She's wearing like tight clothes and like booty shorts and stuff like that. So she is like an attractive woman,
right? But she's not, you know, Edna from Gentle. You know, Edna is like, she's really that bitch. Like, break Edna my own arm wrestling.
Will smash.
Yeah, she'll smash me for real. Like, she'll pick me up and like, get down, ho. So I thought it was funny at the very beginning how Lou decided to bond with Jackie by going in the back and grabbing a bunch of steroids and saying, "Hey, girl, you want to do some drugs?" like it would be one thing to break out a joint on the first date, but that was such a leap to like break out the steroids for this girl. But Jackie did say, "I'm going to compete at Miss, you know, bodybuilding competition." So Lou is trying to help, but I was thinking like, why would you do that? That's so wild.
And it's also like. Yeah, there's like that part where she's listening to the Stop Smoking recordings
while smoking a
cigarette. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's like confusing because she's, I guess, wanting to live healthier, but then offers steroids to a person.
I think she was desperate too.
And let's be honest. I mean, did people know it was bad back then?
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, probably back then, you know, people still had a sip of wine every now and then because the doctor said, "Well, it's good for your baby." Yeah. If you're pregnant, just a sip of wine actually is good.
It's the time when pregnant women smoke.
Yeah. Maybe not they stopped smoking, but maybe they still at least smoke the joint.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe Lou didn't know it was bad or anything like that, but that was definitely weird. But I think she was just trying to impress her.
Yeah, and Lou was like finally a new lesbian in town because she's getting stalked by this other girl, Daisy, right?
Yeah.
And Daisy is this girl who comes up to Lou in the gym like, hey, Lou, look at my yellow teeth. And do you want to hang out again? I really miss you, Lou. You never called me, Lou. And like that's, you know how like bad like Daisy's pH balance had to be for Lou to be like, you are the only lesbian in town and I don't want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
That's fucked up.
And maybe she's not into the girly girl.
Maybe. I mean, she's very pick-me-ish, and I saw on Letterboxd people were calling her Daisy, manic pixie girl, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe she symbolizes something, but what do you think?
Yeah, it's like I think she might be that girl who goes both ways, who's like maybe a lesbian, but also like likes to fuck around with guys too.
Yeah.
So it's like for Lou, she probably might want someone who's only a lesbian.
Yeah.
Like she don't want
no
a
bi
hoe.
girl.
Yeah.
Or even just that, she a hoe. Because Daisy comes across like she was a hoe. Because there was a scene later in the film, like she's just randomly out in the street at night, and there was like another guy standing behind her on the corner like a pimp. I'm like, what is happening with Daisy? Like, I don't know. Anyway, going forward in the story, there's a part where we see Lou get handed a card by the FBI, and the FBI asks, hey, do you know your father, or do you know who this man is? And she's like, I don't fuck with my father. Fuck that guy. And so we get introduced to, Lou's father, who is like this guy in town who is this, basically the businessman who owns everything in this small New Mexico town. And his name is Lou Sr., and he's played by Ed Harris. Right? And Jackie goes to this gun range where a bunch of guys are popping off weapons and stuff and gets a job working for this guy, Lou Sr. And she ends up working as a waitress there. And Lou Sr. is very weird, right? Like he has this long blonde hair growing out the back of his head, but he's totally bald on top. And he likes to play with bugs like maggots and spiders and stuff like that. And so we also get hints that Lou Sr. was a dangerous man because there's like these flashbacks of like this guy getting shot in the head and, Lou Sr. holding the gun and putting it down and stuff like that. So, when Lou finds out that Jackie's working with her father, Lou says, don't work with that guy. He's an asshole. Like, get away from him and stuff like that. And I'm going to take care of you. So, any comments on the interactions first that we see with Lou Sr., Lou, Jackie?
Yeah, I mean, overall in the movie, I wanted more, like, from that interaction, from that relationship. But being introduced to Lou's father, he reminded me of the character from Beetlejuice. Like, just how his hair was and stuff. I think they made him, like, too stereotypically bad guy and weird guy. And, I don't know, like, the hair and the demeanor. Yeah, I understand. Like, it's New Mexico and it's the 1989. But yeah, it was just a bit like too obvious in your face. Too over the top. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that makes me think about, when I saw Lou Sr., it made me think about that guy in The Substance who was the television producer guy who told Demi Moore's character, like, yeah, we're going to miss your tits, but you're just too old to work here. Chomps on a cigar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just very, like, explicitly supervillain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like Ed Harris's acting. I like the characters, even though they're a bit over the top. I could enjoy it because I wanted to know more about that guy. He's like one of those characters you see on the screen, and you're like, he's an interesting character. Like, he could have his own movie. You know what I mean? Like, similar to, there was that movie, No Country for Old Men, and that main killer guy who, like, kills people with the air pressure to their head. You ever saw No Country for Old Men? No, you never saw it? Oh, it's really good. It's really good. Okay. But, like, that guy could have his own movie, right? Well, technically, that was his own movie. But whatever.
I don't know. I would have maybe loved, like, this alternative plot where, Lou's father is, like, sort of playing... Oh, what was her name? Okay, sorry. Sort of playing Jackie in a way, like he's trying Jackie to get close to Lou and find out, like, if she's telling on the FBI or something. Like, she was acting like a good guy towards Jackie, but then, like, eventually we learn that he's actually an asshole. Like, I would have loved to have that, questioning thing, like, you know, just to have more conversations between them, more dialogue. But
that would have turned the film more into a drama, you know?
No, I mean, I'm not saying that's what the movie should be about, but it's just like when we see those type of interactions. For example, there was a scene where Jackie was like checking herself out in the mirror in the shooting range because she was on her break. And then, like Lou calls her and says like, stop that shit.
Yeah, that's not what I pay you for.
Yeah, and something like that. But instead, like, what if he acted nice?
Yeah, to try to get close to his daughter again.
Yeah, not even close, but just like to learn about what she's saying or not saying.
I mean, that would have been an interesting way of telling the story. You know what I mean? The film could have been about, you know, a father who's trying to get back close to his daughter, but he's also a gangster, right? And yeah, we're questioning his motives. You know, does he actually want to be close with his daughter again, and does he want to be, you know, just finding out if he has to kill his daughter because she's snitching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would have been interesting, maybe a bit more drama-ish. But either way, there's several ways the story could have been told. But the way the story is told, we find out that Jackie had sex with basically Lou's brother-in-law. So Lou has a sister who got married to some jackass who's played by Dave Franco.
Dave Franco.
Yeah, Dave Franco, who's the brother of
JJ.
James Franco. The brother of James Franco is Dave Franco in this film, and he has a horrible plug-in mullet. Jesus Christ, like that is a wig. Like, bro, I can see your lace front. I should not be able to say I see your lace front. That was a horrible mullet. Anyway, Jackie had sex with her brother-in-law.
Yes.
Right, and her brother-in-law is a real asshole. And he like beats on Lou's sister because Beth. We see that Beth has like a black eye the first time we see her, and they have like 2 kids together. And all JJ does, Dave Franco's character, is like really get drunk in front of the TV and boss his wife around and slap her around, you know, every now and then. And so there's a friction that's really between, you know, JJ and Lou. Because Jackie is there, and there's a time when they all go out to eat together, and, you know, Lou confronts JJ and says, you need to leave my sister alone, you need to stop hitting her, and JJ fronts and says, like, I fucked your bitch. I've had sex with Jackie, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that causes a lot of conflict in the film, but any comments on, you know, JJ's character or anything like that?
Yeah, I like the dynamic. The story of Beth and JJ is cliche, though it is very real even today, where, you know, women are subjected to physical violence and maybe even sexual violence by their husbands and spouses, and they don't say anything, and they still end up protecting the abusive partner. And I'm guessing during that time it was even more common and stuff like that, and there were probably like less laws that protected women. And they also have like 3-4 kids or something, like when they show the house, you know, and I understand Beth that like she probably feels scared. What if I don't have my husband? Who's going to take care of me?
Yeah.
And she might not want to get involved with her father also. But yeah, I mean, JJ is an asshole. It's kind of simple. Like,
yeah, he's really simple.
It's not that much explored. I like the friction between Lou and JJ.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the fun plots.
I would have liked to see more Lou and Beth interactions, right? Like, because they both have the same father, but it seems like maybe Beth has a better relationship with her father, right? And so explain that. Because Lou said earlier, me and my father don't get along, not because I'm a lesbian, it's because I hate his ass for what he does. But how did Beth interact with that? Because their mother ran away too, both of their mothers, I assume. And I'm sure Beth knows her dad is not, you know, just the guy who owns a liquor store and a gun shop.
Yeah.
So explain that, you know, and that was sort of missing there.
Yeah, I mean, we learn about it later, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I also would have liked a conversation also in the lines of like Lou sort of like telling Beth to leave him and stuff. Like, we don't really have that confrontation. Maybe towards the end we do. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But there's never like a sit down and have that conversation. And maybe that would have made it too drama-ish as well. But I don't know.
So because Lou finds out Jackie had sex with a man, they have this funny scene where, Jackie like sort of storms away after Lou confronts her, and then, Lou is like in the car chasing Jackie down the street saying, "You had sex with him? Do you like dudes, bro? Like, are you even really gay?" You know what I mean? Like, and I really kind of like that scene. I don't know if you liked it, but I felt like, oh, that's a bit human. Like they have, like they're lesbians, but they still say, the same stupid shit people say when they find out their partner is cheating or they were still texting their ex or whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
Like there was a human aspect to that. And that's probably one of my favorite parts of the film. It was actually kind of funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that leads up to like a sex scene where, Kristen Stewart. I'm sorry. Lou, puts like 3 fingers up in Jackie in like the bathroom and then they have sex, right? And I don't know how lesbians find that hot, I guess, like to see 2 girls in like giant t-shirts in the house, because I smashed my wife when she's wearing that giant t-shirt and I make that booty clap. But I can't understand like 2 girls in giant man tees, you know what I mean, trying to get it in.
Okay. Lots of unpack there. I think like giant t-shirts are hot on women.
On women, yes. But imagine 2 ladies. You want to get approached by another lady with a giant T and she tries to suck on your titties.
Depends on how the lady looks.
Okay, all right. We're going to make some phone calls.
Wow, stop. Anyway, I like that scene when they are fighting in the car about like, Jackie... Is she really a lesbian or is she not and stuff? But I think as the audience, we know she only did it because she didn't have anywhere to stay. Probably she didn't have money for food or whatever. And she was just selling her body to make things work. And then like she ends up crashing with Lou. So then like she doesn't have to do it afterwards. And then she ends up getting a job, etc., etc. But I like that scene. Again, I don't like the acting done by Kristen Stewart there. And then later on, I don't know, the sex scene, it's fine, I guess. Like I wasn't turned on by it, but it was okay.
It just felt weird to be like down near somebody's cooch and you're about to finger them while you're puffing on a half-lit cigarette. You know what I mean? I feel like Kristen Stewart was clinging to this cigarette throughout the film. I don't know what that did for the character. I feel like she added that onto the character, and it didn't need to be there. But it was like, no, I got to make this character real. She smokes.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be like not smoking because she quit.
Yeah.
But then she says like this is an exception, and I guess it's like weed or something. Yeah. But there was like that interesting conversation in the sex scene where Lou asked Jackie like, do it how you do it to yourself. Mm-hmm. And then Jackie like shows how she masturbates and Lou says like, is that really how you do? And like, I wanted to know like, is Jackie, unexperienced with women or is she generally unexperienced with sex? And like, I wanted to explore about their sexuality there more, other than just like,
I think there's parts of this film that make you even question Jackie's sexuality if she's even gay.
Yeah.
Because like making her be this essentially hobosexual, she could be just laying up with Lou because she needs a couch. You know what I mean? Like the same way she slept with JJ because she needed a job. It's like it reminds me of like Jungle Fever and how in Jungle Fever, like the interracial relationship was automatically fucked up because, the black man was the boss basically abusing his employee, his secretary. You know what I mean? Like make the people both be fully agent and make the choice to be together rather than it be a power dynamic. And that's what happens here in Jackie and Lou's situation.
Yeah, a little bit. There's that different power dynamic because Lou owns a gym.
Well, she doesn't.
She doesn't own it, but she probably gets the money from it.
Well, no, her dad owns it.
Yeah, her dad owns it, but like,
she gets paid.
Yeah, she gets paid.
Right.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Looking at like how every person lives in this town.
Yeah.
It seems like a good job.
Right. So then, after Lou and Jackie have like that sex scene, basically they get a call to go to the hospital, and who's in the hospital? It's Beth. Beth has been totally like beaten up. Her face is like bruised up. She's barely alive. And Kristen Stewart walks in and said, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And yeah, basically, the doctor says, JJ is like getting spoken to by the police. He's going to file a report, and like what, and Lou is responding like, what report needs to be filed? We know what he did and stuff like that. And it shows like how there's this like slowness in prosecuting domestic abusers. She gets really mad, punches a wall. Jackie is roided up on steroids, so she like crunches like the fucking armchair that she's sitting in, and we see her veins popping out and shit like that. And Lou's father comes in and says, we're going to talk to JJ. We're going to take care of it. Don't you worry. And we see Lou and Lou Sr., actually have their first like interaction on screen. It actually goes across like they're on an understanding now that they have. I don't know, but that's how I interpreted it. But
because,
go ahead.
Her father says something like, we don't want to go ahead and kill him because, I don't think that's what your sister would want.
Mm.
And then Lou sort of gets annoyed with her father in that sense that like he is just trying to cover up the situation and not actually trying to solve the situation.
Yeah.
She's going along with, maybe they're just going to try to scare JJ, but it's not really going to solve anything because I'm guessing this happened before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like the systematic like part of it and how slow it was, and they needed they needed Beth to be awake to get her testimony and stuff like that, and it basically depends on Beth if she chooses to make charges.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting that her father said, I don't think we should kill him, right? Because up to that point, we think he is this big monster gangster, right? We see the scene of him shooting somebody, or at least that's what we think. Lou says he's an asshole, but then he comes in and he's kind of, tender with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't know if he's just saying that because maybe somebody's listening. Maybe that's not his automatic thing to just kill somebody. But I think this also talks about maybe what the film is about. Like, love is more complex than just saying, I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many factors, right? People hurt us and we still love them. People disappoint us and we still love them. We disappoint them and they still love us, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's there's that part of the film that I think is way more interesting than just the feminism part, which is so surface level.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a theme of like, what do you do for love? And how love works in certain contexts. There's definitely that theme.
I mean, it's in the title, right? Love, lies, bleeding, right? So,
and I don't know. I just think that it might have made Lou a bit angry also because if there is one person to kill, it's JJ. Like, that's what she might be thinking. And then you're not killing him because you care about your daughter, but then like your daughter gets beat up. Well,
he's also the father to your grandkids, right? And so there's more to think about than just killing him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't want to deprive your grandkids of knowing their father,
Yeah.
So there's that. But, what happens? We see JJ come home one day to his ranch house late at night. He takes a swig of whiskey. He hears some noise in his house. He walks outside and gets his shit rocked. Get his face punched in by this big, strong woman. And we see that it's Jackie. And Jackie, roided up, monstrous, tears his ass up, bashes his head into the coffee table till his jaw is like loose off his face. And then there's this kind of cool scene where Jackie stands up and you notice she's like taller.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like her head is almost hitting the ceiling.
Yeah, she's taller, she's stronger, she's bigger, right? And she's standing over the dead body of this man who beat up her girlfriend's sister? Yeah. Okay, it's very white trash. This is a very white trash story when you think of
her girlfriend's sister husband.
Yeah, she beat up her girlfriend's sister's husband, right? So it's like this is like an Eminem song. It's the Eminem song.
It's very trailer.
But what did you think of that fight scene? Because I thought it was cool. I thought it was done well. I liked that part. And honestly, if the film stopped at that magical part where we're like unsure if Jackie got taller, I would have been like, oh, that's sick. That's a sick way of doing that. But what did you think?
Yeah, I think this could be one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Like, until this point, I was a bit annoyed with the movie, but I think until the ending, from this point until the ending, it is like the best section of the movie for me. And I like the, killing of JJ scene. Not that, like, I want to kill men who abuse women, Definitely they should be punished, but I don't think like killing them is the solution. But it was like that sense of relief that I think the woman got in the audience.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it, I think anybody, you're rooting for, you're rooting for Beth and you're rooting for Lou and Jackie, and you want them to like, stop the shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, you see it and you're sort of like, yeah, he kind of got that. Yeah. That was coming.
And like, just to think of the concept of a muscular girl killing a man, it's like not something we see in the movies that often. Yeah. And like you said, I like that scene where she stands up like on top of him, and it's like there at that point, like there are no genders because it's more about like power and revenge and something that was wrong that needed to be right.
Yeah, pure strength.
Yeah.
Pure strength.
So, yeah, I like that scene.
Oh, I like that scene, too. So, basically, Lou is riding home in a taxi after, leaving the hospital because she can't stay anymore. And she is in the taxi and passes Beth's house. She gets out and tries to see if JJ is there. She walks in the living room and says, "Oh, my God. What happened?" And like his jaw is hanging out, and so she like rolls up his body and puts it in like the back of a trunk because that's obvious what to do. She learned from the best. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So yeah, she put it in the back of the car, and she also finds Jackie, in the bathtub, and she's like, "Are you okay, Jackie?" and stuff like that. And so they decide to do this. They're gonna drive the cars out to the spot that Lou knows about where her dad used to dispose of whatever he disposed of back in the day when he was a big-time gangster. And so they're driving there. They get stopped by Daisy, who is the girl who's kind of in love with Lou. And Daisy's like, "Hey, what you doing out late at night?" And Lou is like, "Bitch, get back. Get back." He treats her like how Drewski treats Bambi. Yeah. So yeah, she's like, "Bitch, get back. Yeah, we're gonna hang out tomorrow." Skirt. And so yeah, they drive out to the far end of the desert where there's like this big crack in the earth, and they push the car over the edge with the dead body in it, and they throw a Molotov cocktail down there, and it explodes. Boom. And so yeah, then they go back home, and I think they have sex. Did they have sex?
I don't know.
No?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, what'd you think of those scenes?
Again, like, it's kind of a bit of a cliche, like these, Bonnie and Clyde, Louise and Thelma sort of couples. And I haven't seen that theme being explored good since we watched Slim and Queen. Queen and Slim.
Queen and Slim, yeah.
That was a really good movie.
That was really good. We never reviewed that.
Yeah, we didn't. But, it's like this one, it was a bit cliche. We killed a guy. And now, my girlfriend killed a guy. And now I have to, find out a way to hide it.
Yeah.
But the scenery was cool. And the shots were cool here when we see the smoke and and how they, push the car and let it burn, and the Molotov cocktail in Lou's hand and stuff like that. Yeah. And then also I think there was just this foreshadowing of Jackie asking Lou what they're gonna find it. Yeah. And they're gonna find our prints or whatever. Yeah. And then Lou says, "No, I'm doing it, I'm putting it here because there are other bodies down there, and that will be on someone else." Yeah. But we obviously understand it's the father.
Yeah. There's hints of the father seeping out of Lou. Like I said, Lou is just like her father to some degree. Your first reaction is to do some gangster shit when you find a dead body. You know what I'm saying? As much as she doesn't like her dad, she's still doing those things too. And another thing I had to think about in this film, all in all, is in the relationship between Lou and Jackie, the dominant one is not really established, I would say. And maybe you could, I don't know what you think about this, but there's this back and forth on who is really the man in this thing. Because we see at the beginning, Lou is cooking breakfast and stuff like that. And then Jackie's saying "Hey, you need to cook my eggs this way, woman." You know what I mean? But but Lou is the one who's like teaching her how to have like sex, and she's the one initiating sex a lot of the time, right? And when the murder happens, she's the one who's like now in control. She's like, okay, Jackie, you do this, I do that, you stay at home, and I go outside and take care of everything. Don't you worry, little lady. So it's very interesting the dynamic between the two about, you know, power and how it's sort of out of balance in this relationship for many different reasons. But any comments on that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of like that power dynamic in the relationship, and I wonder if it's also like natural in lesbian relationships. So any lesbian sisters out there who's watching, like, let us know. Is there always like one dominant like partner in the relationship, or is this kind of like back and forth relationship natural? And if it's not, it makes it more interesting. Like here, then there's like, okay, so both of us are women, so societally we're like the same level, power level, but between us we're sort of fighting like whoever one is the more dominant one.
Right.
Because there's also that like this relationship of owing one another. Like Lou owes Jackie for getting rid of JJ, and then Jackie owes Lou for covering up her tracks and not making her go to jail. So it's like these double bonded, like double edged sword.
Like they're bonded and they're bonded like scissors. That was a good one. You walked right into it. I couldn't help it. You're bonded.
What person uses bonded like scissors?
Well, I mean, it's a perfect. Imagine two scissors interlocked, stuck together, but somehow rubbing.
Okay, we're not going deeper into the scissors.
This is the most lesbian phobic episode. Like, as two allies, we're very bad at this.
We are.
We're very bad at being good allies. I'm sorry, acting. If you want to stop this, we can.
No, let's go.
Okay. So yeah, essentially, like Lou goes back to JJ's house where the murder happened, cleans up the final blood that's there on the walls. Jackie is kind of upset because she planned on going to like this muscle competition in another state or city somewhere else. I believe it. Yeah, in Las Vegas, and they're in New Mexico, right? And so Jackie is like, man, I worked so hard for this. I've been working out, taking steroids, taking all the pills, everything, and now I can't do this. You know what I mean? So she's at the house, like getting more roided up and posing and exercising and stuff like that. And meanwhile, Lou has to run into the closet at JJ's house. JJ's house, Beth's house, where the murder happened, because her father comes in, and her father is looking around for JJ, and he like tries to talk to her and stuff like that. And the father, sees that nobody's there. And so, like, there's that very tense scene, but eventually, like, Lou Sr. escapes or leaves while Lou is still in the house. So, any comments on that?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, her dad looks very stereotypically villainish and villainous, however you say it. But, like, there's that scene here where he's like, oh, who's taking care of you, little birdie? And, like, then he feeds the little bird that's in the house. And you see, like, this tender side of him. And, I would love, like I said in the beginning, I would have liked to see that, like, conflict within himself as well. And sort of make us second guess, is he really the villain, Because most of the times it's like, sexism is not in your face and hate is not in your face. Especially today, it could be, but it's not.
I'm going to say this. I think the father here is one of the most interesting characters, and also Lou as well, because the more I think about this film, and we're sort of rewatching it right now, Lou is named after her father. That doesn't happen for girls, right? And that's on purpose in this film. Lou Sr., right? And the father doesn't want to show emotions or anything like that. He dresses horribly like a dad, has a weird, body and weird things he's into, but he also cares, right? I care about the bird. And just thinking about like my own dad, right? Like my dad, a lot of shit fucked up in him, doesn't let it out, but he's like, we gotta feed the dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how dads are. Like, we got to clean the boat tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never mind the fact, my father never hugged me for the last 20 years of his life. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. They don't let that shit out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You see little shit from your dads that make you think, oh, there's actually a nice person under there. But he also murdered like 20 Mexicans from running, fucking with his drug money.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't mind Lou being boyish because he always wanted a boy and he has 2 girls. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's like he took advantage of it and wanted to turn Lou into like, his business partner essentially within the crime community.
Yeah, because we see later that the person that we see that Lou Sr. shot is actually the person that Lou Jr. shot, right? So she was in business with her dad way back in the day, but something changed. Yeah. So I don't know. I like their dualism in this thing, right? Because they both seem to care, but they sort of care in ways that conflict with each other, right? Lou Sr. cared about his son-in-law, and he cared about his daughter, and maybe Lou Jr. cares more about other people than she does the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else?
No.
All right, so picking it up, Jackie is like working out at the gym. She broke out of the house. Lou Sr. has like a corrupt cop on payroll to like find out what's happening in town with these murders and stuff like that. And the police find the body of JJ in the car because the smoke from the blown up car went all over town. So they know what's there. And so Lou Sr. is trying to find out, who killed my son, find out what happened, shit like that. And so I don't know how they didn't think, obviously, well, duh, it's Lou.
Yeah.
Why isn't that obvious? But yeah, Lou and JJ and Jackie, get into a fight when Jackie comes back home and she had broke away, like breaking Lou's rules to like stay at home. And they, get into this fight where Jackie almost like kicks her ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, any comments on that?
I mean, not really. I guess like the only interesting part was that Jackie at this part becomes very high. Like she's high and pumped up on steroids, and she's not even understanding the fact that she killed a person, and that's why like Lou is irritated with her.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it was obvious that Lou Sr. was controlling the police force and was in the business, so that part wasn't really that interesting, honestly.
I kind of liked the gangsterness of Lou Sr. He's cool, man. Lou Sr.'s gangsterness, like, this is what I fucking pay you for, you know what I mean, fucking cop. Now get out there and do your work, bitch. You know what I mean? Pimping the police. I like that. And, it was very intense, the scene with Lou and Jackie when like Jackie is roided up because like there's that tension. We saw her kill a person. I was thinking maybe she might kill Lou and this film would become like, totally switched. It's like she becomes the Hulk or a monster that they have to track down and kill.
Yeah.
It'd be like Lou Sr. versus Jackie. Who wins? Because there's that line at the beginning when Jackie says like, anybody can feel strong behind a gun and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So she's all about brute strength, and he's all about that iron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought maybe the film was going that way too.
Yeah, it could have been, but I didn't really want Lou to die.
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
Even though you didn't like Kristen Stewart?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so basically Jackie runs away after getting into her fight with Lou. She hitchhikes with some hippies, and then she's, basically rolling with them to get to her competition, right? And meanwhile, Jackie is like, Lou is still in town dealing with, trying to keep a low profile after the murder that happened and stuff like that. And I think at this point, Beth gets better, and, Beth gets better, right? No?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's like the part where Daisy is starting to, blackmail Lou. Mm-hmm. And, like noticing that Jackie is not with Lou anymore. Daisy like makes a move again.
Yeah.
And she says like, like I saw Jackie driving your car or JJ's truck the other night, and she kind of like threatens him in order to be in a relationship with her.
Yeah, because to blackmail her to make her seem like, I know how this murder happened. You two were the last ones with his car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's all on you, right? And so
like meanwhile Jackie is in the competition, and like she is like she's looking at the pictures and she's seeing them move. She's completely like hallucinating at this point because she's so high on steroids. And she's living her best life. She's living her best life,
but then she does the competition, and when she's on stage, she has this wild hallucination where, everything goes black, and then she throws up out of her mouth Lou, and Lou crawls out and says, "I told you not to go, Jackie." Something like that. "I told you to stay in the house." And then it comes back to reality, and, Jackie had thrown up on stage in front of everybody, and she gets laughed at. And the ladies backstage are laughing at her too, so then she runs backstage and like beats one up brutally. Yeah. I really hated that scene, the throwing up Lou scene, because like, oh my god, that's so A24. Like they continue to do like the
weird throw up.
Yeah, the weird mouth throw up scene, especially after Men and other movies they've done. They always got to just do some weird body horror stuff to throw it in, because body horror is supposed to be, that's avant-garde. That's cool cinema. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't find that part, effective. Yeah. Like, I don't think it did what it was supposed to do. Yeah. It could have been like a different hallucination that, she didn't have to throw up Lou. Yeah. Throw Lou up, whatever. Yeah. And, that made sort of no sense. Like, it would have been better if she saw Lou in the crowd and just hallucinated and then threw up or something. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So that didn't really... It wasn't effective.
It wasn't hidden.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. So, anyway, Beth gets better at the hospital. And meanwhile, all her family is around Beth. So, Lou Sr. is there. The kids are there and stuff like that. And Beth is saying, like, I want to see my husband and stuff like that. Lou Sr. talks with Lou out in the hospital's hallway and says, listen, if you're going to do something that's stupid, at least do it like clean so that nobody knows and stuff like that. You're doing it real sloppy. And so, Lou Sr. knows that the murder happened, but they're going to try to find a way to get out of that because Daddy knows best. Daddy got the police on lock. Daddy got the money. You know what I mean? So he's going to try to take care of it. But we have to figure something out now, and you have to work with me. So then Lou Jr. is like, okay, we'll work on it, right? Yeah. And meanwhile, the police walk in and tell Beth that her husband is dead, and she screams out, "No!" and shit like that. But, any comments on those?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we talked about, like, Jackie throwing Lou up, but then, not really. Like,
not really,
I don't
nothing
really
on
have
that.
Any comments. It's just, like, the same continuation of passive-aggressive, like, and also aggressive, too, I guess, relationship between Lou Sr. and Lou. And I think she was trying to solve it without her father, but she couldn't. Yeah. And her father eventually got involved, and now she's maybe scared that her father might get access to Jackie, or I don't know, might put the blame on her. Yeah. And sacrifice her daughter. Maybe that's like her worries. So yeah.
No, I liked that scene when Beth finds out her husband dies and she screams out no, because it talks about how women sometimes can't get out of domestic abuse relationships because of that attachment and that fear of loss, right? And plus, nobody generally wants other people to die that you used to love, right? Yeah. Like, generally, I think, most people don't want that, I would say. But, I thought that was cool. And that made a very important point about the film, that love is complicated, right? Like, you can't just go around hurting people that are loved by other people, right? And family is important. This film is about family to some degree, because Lou Sr. seems like he wants to have a relationship with his daughters, both of them, right? And also try to respect the relationships that they have, right? Because the same way Lou Sr. respected, Lou Jr. for being a lesbian, he respects Beth's choice to maybe have a guy that is not good for her, right? But he still wants to protect his daughter, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like on the personal level, we can't enact like for the people, especially the people we don't know, because Jackie didn't know Lou's sister at all. And yeah, like her intentions were good, but what she did was really, really bad, which was to kill a person. And we can't really do that for other people, no matter how much we want to protect them. And I think it's the same for parents and siblings and everything. Like, you know, if you have a daughter who's getting physically abused, you can talk to your daughter. You can always, like, you know, try to get her out of the situation, but you can't go ahead and report the husband, or you can't go ahead or kill the husband and stuff like that.
Just call the police.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's gonna be her decision.
Yeah.
And if not, then you're gonna be the person to blame.
Yeah. So that's that. What's happening after that? Do you remember?
Yeah, so like we said, Daisy is blackmailing Lou into being in a relationship with her. Meanwhile, and she also like gives her a cigarette and like a birthday card or something, like some card. Yeah. And you know, Lou has quit smoking, and so she doesn't take it. And Daisy says, like, you know, save for an emergency and stuff. So basically, Lou has to sleep with Daisy. And also, at the same time, Jackie, because she beat up another bodybuilder, another girl, she ends up being arrested and taken to police. And they tell her, you only have one call you can make. So she calls Lou, but Daisy is like naked in the living room, and she opens the door and says, like, I got her, bitch. Like, don't ever call here. And she doesn't love you. She doesn't want you. And and basically, you know,
Jackie
is sad.
Yeah, Jackie is sad about that. But Lou Sr. comes to get her out of jail and drives her home. And Lou Sr. is telling Jackie, like, you know, you got to take care of business and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jackie says, I want to get out of the car. And then, you know, Lou Sr. says, you get out of this car, you realize you're alone. You know what I mean? So he's really sort of like intimidating her to get back in this, to clean things up. And so, basically he tells her, like, you have to fix the loose end. And we know who the loose end is, and that's Daisy, right? So basically, Lou Sr. sends Jackie on this hit mission to go kill Daisy. And so one day when Daisy and Lou are, like, coming back from, I don't know, getting ice cream or something, who knows, right? Like, Daisy gets her shit popped in the back of the head. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Lou is like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, she gets shot right in front of her. That scene was kind of cool. I like that scene. Yeah. Kind of Pulp Fiction-y. Yeah. You know what I mean? Quentin Tarantino-esque. At the same time that Daisy gets shot, the FBI comes to Lou Jr.'s house, and they're knocking on the door. And so, you know, Lou has to hide the body behind the couch. Jackie ran away somewhere. And the FBI come and, like, search the house, and the body of Daisy is, like, right there behind the couch while the cat, like, licks up the blood. And they're asking her questions about her father and the murder that happened and stuff like that. So, it gets really messy. Any comments on that?
I think I like that shooting of the Daisy scene as well. But I think that's also the moment where both girls are, like, betraying each other. Because I think Lou is able to tell that Jackie is being used by her father, because where did she get a gun? And it's possible that she would tie that in. And also, like, Jackie's betraying Lou again because she's making her cover up another murder. Yeah. There's that. And then at the same time, Jackie feels betrayed because Lou is with Daisy and she's forgotten about her. Yeah. And I think also, like, what was important after Jackie shoots Daisy, she points the gun at Lou. And I was thinking, oh no, like, she's going to shoot Lou.
I think she did try to shoot Lou, but Lou, like, dodged a bullet or something like that.
She pressed on the, what is that? The trigger. And, but it didn't, like, have a bullet or something. There was only one bullet. And maybe that was done intentionally by Lou Sr. To protect her daughter. Yeah. I don't know. But, and then, like, Jackie runs out of there and goes to the payphone and calls her brother and says,
"Don't ever fall in love."
Yeah, that was so cheesy. I was like, wait, this was actually like a good scene ruined by this.
I think that was to hit at the theme of this film where love is complicated, love hurts, love lies bleeding. Okay, all right. It's like nailing it home, stuff like that. I think so.
Cliche.
I sort of forgot about that scene, but now that you brought it up, I kind of like that scene. Once again, we disagree.
You kind of like every scene.
I kind of like this movie. I am not going to just hate on it because it has a very stupid, the overall subject matter. But I kind of like that scene. I like she was really crying. She would break it down.
No, I like the fact that she called her family, but why does she have to say, "Don't ever fall in love"? Like, she could have said something else. She could have just asked, "How are you doing?"
Okay, yeah. After she just caught 2 bodies and beat up a girl in Vegas. Yeah. Hey.
Said, I just caught 2 bodies, gang gang.
No, that's wild. I don't know, man. That part was cool, man. I really like, because this, you don't see usually like female directors making like very gory, bloody movies. You know what I mean? The only one I can think of is like Titan. You know what I mean? Men, that was a female director?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's not really gory. It's just kind of stupid. It's not really gory.
People being born out of each other's backs.
That was wild. Gory. That was wild. Okay. But I'm talking about violence, you know what I mean? Like shooting people in the cheeks and shit, maybe. I don't know. It was cool, man. I like that part. Yeah, it was a cool scene. And what happens next? I think, Jackie goes back to Lou Sr. and like the job is done right. But he like attacks her, like he hits her on the back of the head when she walks back in the house, right? Mm-hmm. And he like basically like kidnaps her. And Lou Jr. calls up her dad and says, "Hey, the FBI was just here. They want to ask about the murders. But why did you send Jackie to kill me?" And he's like, "I'm taking care of things. I want to make sure that we're gonna be okay." Right? And then Lou Jr. says, "No, you let Jackie go right now." And he's like, "I can't do that." So then she's like, "I'm going to tell the FBI everything. I know where all the bodies are and more." And he's like, "You really going to do that?" And he's like, and she says, "Yeah, I will." And I like that. I like that part too, because it shows like she's willing to like stand up to her father and like, fight for her love. And it becomes sort of like a classic story of like the guy going to save the princess in the castle protected by a dragon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those final parts of the movie become very cool for me. I like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, basically now it's Lou Jr. versus Lou Sr., the big fight happening. And so,
There's that funny scene where Lou Sr. sends like one of his infiltrated police officers into Lou's house. Yeah. And this police officer is not able to shoot Lou.
Yeah, right? No, he is standing like 8 meters away from her.
Not even 8.
Yeah, like he's pointing a gun at her back, fires like 5 shots, and misses all of Lou. Lou puts her gun over the couch, doesn't even look, and like knocks his man 3 times in the chest. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Wow.
And but yeah, I like the fact that Lou was like determined to prove to Jackie that she was still in love with her and that she knows like this is not her fault and she knows like her father's fucked up ways. Mm-hmm. And I think also Lou sort of blamed herself for getting her involved in this shit as well, even though it was Jackie who decided to kill JJ.
Yeah, yeah. I think, Lou is like, what did I get myself into? But it's sort of like led up to this point anyway. Like, we were heading down this path, me and my dad, you know what I mean?
It was going to happen one day.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I know too much. I couldn't imagine. Like, she was on the hit list eventually maybe for her dad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she ends up, after killing the cop, she goes to her dad's house, like, late at night. And, she bursts in there with a gun. He's nowhere to be found and stuff like that. And she goes to the back of the house and she finds Beth. And Beth is like really mad at her. Like, what did you do? And Beth is like, still has this big scar on her face. And Beth says, I think the most important line in the film, she says to Lou, like, you don't understand. I loved him. You don't understand love. Something like that, right? To Lou.
Yeah, that's very an original line.
Okay.
Yes.
Actors just hating. Actors just hating on this film. Okay, finally a film we really, really could disagree on. But basically Lou ends up torturing her sister by like poking her face with her big ass bump on it to ask, "Where's Jackie? Where's Jackie?" So she says Jackie's out back behind the tennis court. Lou runs back there, unties Jackie. Jackie like pushes her away. Lou tackles her to the ground. They have a big argument and fight. They almost like shoot each other and stuff like that. And Jackie's like, you cheated on me. You left me. And Lou is like, I was trying to protect you. I was trying to help you. I'm here to try to save you now and stuff like that. And so, Jackie starts running away. I guess they make bond and peace right there, right?
No, that's where Lou Sr. shows up.
Well, yeah, but Jackie was running away and Lou was like, I'm going to go get the car from the front. Yeah. Something like that, right?
Yeah. Lou asked Jackie to get the car and get out of there.
Yeah, because they're going to run away. Like, they're finally going to leave town and stuff like that. Yeah. And on top of that, like, she said, I told the FBI everything. They're coming to get my dad and stuff like that. So Lou runs to the front to go get the car. Jackie's running out back. But then Lou Sr. comes, pops his daughter in the legs and stands over her. And he's about to send her up. And, they have this evil monologue, like Lou Jr. is like, fuck you, Dad, I hate you. You ran Mom away. And, Lou Sr. says, no, your mom ran away because I was a shitty husband and you were a shitty daughter. And we're going to end this right now. He puts like his finger in her thigh with a bullet hole and starts torturing her. But then, Jackie hears these sounds and she turns into the Incredible Hulk. Like her shirt starts to rip, muscle starts to form, all this sort of stuff. She picks up, she comes as a gigantus, right? The film ends with gigantic Jackie coming, picking up Lou Sr. in the air like a little rag doll and putting him down on the floor like a little boy, like pinning his arms to the ground. And then Lou Jr. gets up and like says, haha, bitch, and like walks away. The FBI comes to and arrests Lou Sr. And Jackie then runs in the clouds and I sound so crazy telling this story. It's like a mushroom dream, right? And Lou is running in the clouds with her as well. Because they're both gigantuses now.
Because that makes so much sense. Like, are they on mushrooms or something?
It was great. What do you think of the final scene?
Honestly, it wasn't that bad until Jack and the Beanstalk showed up.
Jack and the Beanstalk, that's funny.
And she was just like, and the Jack was Mr. Lou Sr.
Yeah.
And until there, it wasn't bad, like, because things were unraveling and conflicts were like being had and stuff like that. And finally, Lou Sr. was facing each other, and also it was the time where we sort of like, the conflict resolution for Lou and Jackie was happening. All of them were cool until the Giantress showed up, and it was just so out of touch for me. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, that looks like a kid's show. And not that, like, the effects were bad or anything, but it was just, like, so weird on the screen. And also, like, Lou was like, oh, like, yeah, she's a giant. Like, Lou, like, just didn't question it at all as well. And that made me think, like, I don't think maybe all of that really happened. Maybe that was just, like, how Jackie saw herself.
Maybe. I mean, Jackie is strong, right? So I could understand her overpowering the big, Lou Sr.
Yeah, because Lou Sr. is, like, this skinny old dude. Yeah. Like, she could definitely beat him up.
We saw other films that had magical, surreal endings, like Beasts of the Southern Wild. At the end, when the giant beasts that from the ocean representing the hurricane come on land and look at the girl face to face, right? Yeah. But that didn't feel as tacky as this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This felt, we both saw it and we weren't both like, wow or whoa. It was both like, the fuck? Yeah. It was like, what the fuck is this? It was really bad. It was like, Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have to be like a 13-year-old lesbian girl living in the middle of, I don't know, Antalya, right? Or small town Kansas. You're the one lesbian in a 100-mile radius, and you happen to watch this film, as inspiration. Maybe that can move you, because I can understand why people would really like this film.
Yeah.
Maybe just it doesn't touch us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's like how, I don't know. I want to feel it because I sympathize with gay folks. You know what I mean? I rock with the LGBTQAI, as Acti would say. So I rock with them. So I want to like it.
Me too. I wanted to like it. This is the movie I picked, and But overall, I don't think ending was bad. Just that one particular scene was bad.
Maybe
the ending.
It would have been better if Jackie wasn't gigantus, but just like.
A bit taller,
right?
Like and how when she killed JJ.
Yeah, and then maybe did it a bit obscure. Like, it's like done in the shadow. You're like, who is this giant woman? Like, she's pinned down. What's his name? You know what I'm saying?
Lou Senior, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, let's go to the very ending.
Okay, you tired of
this film? Class.
Okay. Excuses. You got excuses. You know you love this movie.
After this review, I need a cigarette before class.
Shout out to Nelson Moreno. He says, if you guys review Beckett, I will join. Beckett up next, I promise. Beckett up next, I promise. And Nelson Moreno says he loves studs. I think we all love studs. We want a homeboy and a homegirl. You feel me?
I don't get it.
Homeboy and homegirl.
Studs don't love you.
Yeah, they don't.
Why are you?
It's the chase.
Okay.
Anyway, studs are the new thing. Studs are the new bad bitches in 2025.
Look at Drewski making waves.
Drewski gonna make us get like stud mistresses. You know what I mean? Your girl will never suspect it.
There's gonna be a line in the BBL removal clinics.
Yeah.
Like every BBL babe from Instagram is gonna try to remove the BBL and get oversized t-shirts.
Yeah, and mastectomies.
And 5 o'clock shadow.
Your girl will never suspect it, man. Hey, this my homeboy. What you mean? I'm just hanging out with Eric. I know her name is Erica, but stop dead naming her. You feel me?
Okay.
I didn't know you was a bigot. I can't have gay friends, bruh. I can't have gay friends. It's my homegirl.
I think he's done.
Having a stud is the only way to cheat. Well, black men don't cheat. But if you do cheat, you cheat with a stud.
I have no comment.
Are you mad?
This is insane.
It's okay. You slap me.
I don't. Stop. People are going to say, you're a domestic abuser.
Yeah.
They're going to cloak it.
If only they knew what happens behind this camera.
What happens? You constantly slap my butt.
It's like 12 years a slave.
No.
I'm a stud. The cameras is off. I'm sorry. All right. So you're ignoring that I asked if I could join the Beckett review, says Nelson Moreno. No. You can join. We're going to find a way. We're going to make a live call-in show. We're going to start doing call-ins for these movie reviews on live. We might turn on Zoom. If you want to join in, you'll pop up on screen and you can holler at us. You feel me? That's how we're doing it in 2025.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. So yeah, basically, the FBI arrests Lou Sr., Jackie and Lou escape town in JJ's truck, I think, or is it Jackie's truck?
It doesn't matter.
It's Lou's truck. It's Lou's truck because we saw her driving it at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Lou has this pickup truck she's driving, and, Jackie's asleep. Lou has her cat. They're driving off to California. Who knows where they're going, right? And it's all happy in the sunset until they hear some noise in the back, and it's Daisy's body. She's rolled up in the carpet. She's still alive, even though she's got a bullet hole in her cheek. And so, this feminist film that was all about standing up for women and fighting against domestic abusers and, zero tolerance for people that disrespect women. The final scene is Lou choking the life out of this young, helpless girl and dumping her body in the Mojave Desert while she smokes a cigarette. What did you think of the ending?
Yeah, it was giving. I like the ending. I like the fact that Daisy like decided to come back to life. Because that was one thing that was unexpected about this movie. But yeah, it sort of gave off the message like you do anything for love, you kill for love, and their love, especially Jackie and Lou's love, is very like fatal to anyone.
Yeah,
and also maybe even to each other.
Yeah.
So it was like, for me, it was like Lou realizing like we're a criminal couple.
Yeah.
Like, and if this is what I have to do one more time to protect Jackie, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So like she just does it.
Yeah. No, I thought that ending scene was just so off, like so wild. Like, because technically this story is like no different than the story of like two slaves who ran off the plantation, right? It's like if at the ending of Django, there's like this one slave who's like, Django, thank you, man, we made it. Thanks for killing Massa. Bam. Django like shoots him dead. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the film's themes about women empowerment, protection, and stuff like that are totally subverted by that last scene.
I mean, maybe it wasn't about woman empowerment. Maybe it was just about lesbian liberation and love and toxic love.
I mean, lesbian liberation is when we finally kill the patriarchy and cisgendered hetero white women too.
No, but that part of the movie belonged to the love theme.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the love theme is doing something you don't want to do. Right?
Yeah, doing anything for love.
Right. Because the only way to protect Jackie and let her know that she really cares is to kill this girl, right?
Yeah.
I guess so. I also just feel like Daisy represented manic pixie, blonde white woman type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we killed the patriarch, but we also have to kill the matriarch as well, right? And for lesbian liberation, if that's the theme, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, final scores for this film. You know, I enjoyed it. It's kind of silly. Would I watch it again? No. Would I recommend somebody watch it? Maybe. Not really. Unless I knew that they were into these types of films. I'd say, oh, that's a good one I saw. Maybe it's up your alley. But for me, it's not that bad if you turn your brain off. If you turn your brain off, ignore Kristen Stewart's habit for chain smoking while eating coochie. Ignore some bad acting, some over-the-top effects. It's a 6 for me. It's a 6. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I've seen worse films, and it's not as cringe as you would think it is.
Yeah, for me, I'm sorry, I don't like it. I think everything is mediocre. For the most part, like the cinematography is not like something you would say, wow, like this was such a beautiful shot, or this was such a, important shot and stuff like that. Acting, mediocre, especially from Kristen Stewart. I bashed her so much during this movie. Themes, they were okay. Obviously, like important themes of like lesbian liberation, feminism and love, and those are all important themes, but done in a little bit of a cliche and cheesy way for me. But maybe, like we discussed, it's attractive for lesbians. So maybe I'm just unable to connect with this movie, and I'm just like unable to relate to it. So that's why my score is going to be a 4.
Ooh, yeah. That was mean. Mean acting back. I like it when she's mean, man. She be spanking me and shit. So yeah, man. Acting gives it a 4. I give it a 6, man. I mean, do you not see the value in it? Like, imagine some of your friends. Do you think some of your friends would like this film?
I don't think so.
Really?
Maybe one of my friends might like it. And I don't know if you know. I don't know if you can guess which one it is.
I don't know. We'll talk after the camera's off. Okay. But I'm imagining some of your friends in Hungary, like the people you've met here from different countries, maybe they would like it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those are like hipster type people, but with bad taste. Like they think they watch a good film, but it's really not. But they're like, oh yeah, that was really good. Didn't you remember the guy threw up out of his mouth another human? Like,
wow. I'm sure there's like people who love this movie, and I'm not saying if you love this movie you have a bad taste. Like once again, it's personal, it's subjective. So my personal take is that I couldn't connect to this movie, and yeah. So
I think it's entertaining, it's fun, annoying themes. The love theme is interesting. It's worth a shot if you're just into that, right? If you're like Pulp Fiction, neo-noir, new type of stories, not just the rehash of same shit that's done before. There's something new here that you can explore and kind of be into. But A24 is on a downward slope.
Yeah.
Like I'm really trying my best to like these A24 films. But man, how did y'all go from like to be the goats to being like nopes?
Yeah, I mean, if we watch The Brutalist and it's also really bad, I don't know if I'm gonna pick another A24 movie in a near future.
And I would just bringing up The Brutalist, I would say, oh no, but it like won an Academy Award. Nora won Best Film, so the awards don't matter. Like good films and bad films exist in two totally different atmospheres. Like because the bad shit, the trash, is getting elevated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Nora, the same way I feel about the Trump presidency. Like, how did y'all let this happen?
Yeah. I feel the same way for this movie, the way you feel about Nora.
Really? Okay.
I think.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. I think maybe Taxi Driver. I think Taxi Driver might be.
No, I don't hate this movie. Yeah. I just can't connect to it.
Okay. I got you. All right, well, we'll wrap up this live stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're hearing this on audio, catch the upload of this on my channel in the audio form. Catch it also on Spotify, Cinema Crossroads. Subscribe to Backpack Bandits travel content that AKDI and I do. And also stay tuned for more videos on this channel. Sorry, the book to react got cut short. I planned on reading chapter 6, but for some reason my live streams are cutting out at an hour or so. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the internet. But thank you for all y'all support, and y'all be easy out there. Peace.